Beautiful day to try again. As they would say on the streets, we'll go again today. Baba God, now your hand will day. So you've tried it the first time, it didn't work, try again. Try the second time, the 1,000th time, it didn't work, try again. Keep trying, you get it right. My name is Amaka. Thank you so very much for joining us on Sunrise. Laura is here looking as bright as the sun, if I may say. Good morning.
Good morning, Amaka. You're not looking bad yourself.
Thank you. So who are we billing today?
Okay, we are billing we brought the chair of chairs.
Someone once said, right in Ebonyi State, chairman no be chair money.
No, this one, now chairman with chair money. So we brought in the chairman of Nigeria Union of Journalists, Ebonyi State, Comrade Samson Nwafo. He will be taking us through what is happening in Ebonyi as it concerns journalism, and especially that it is the 70th anniversary of journalism in Nigeria. Or is it the word? Nigeria. Okay, so that I don't commit blunder on Nigeria. So Comrade is here with us, and Amaka, we're also going to be looking at newspaper review much later in the program. But before then, we'll be having the Ministry of Environment come to talk to us on what is going on with our environment as it concerns the sanity and sanitation and sanctity, because I mean, when a place is not clean, it affects the sanctity of the people. So we're going to be looking at that, and from there, of course, we'll go to the streets of social media to find out what is trending, with Amaka being so radiant with her batik or Ankara or whatever she chooses to call it. But I think it's just beautiful. So, Comrade, it's a pleasure to have you in the studio with us today.
Thank you.
All right, so Comrade Samson Nwafo, let's begin immediately without much time. Congratulations on the 70th anniversary of NUG.
Thank you so much.
And now we are aware this event was supposed to have happened last month, sometime 15th. I should be correct. So what happened? Why are we just marking it in Ebonyi State?
Okay, thank you so much. The union, NUJ, marked its 70th anniversary on 15th of last month.
Okay.
But you know, celebrating such events is not a tea party. It is not an event you just wake up and start celebrating. We needed to plan it. We needed to reach out to friends to tell them that we have reached this milestone, and there was need for them to come and celebrate with us. So that was the delay, the reason for the delay, to enable us to organize our friends, members of the union, to be able to attend that event. That was why we delayed it by 2 weeks.
Now, sorry, I don't want to believe that the anniversary was a sudden thing.
No.
Like you didn't know that it was going to be on the 15th of March.
We know.
And then you waited until 15th of March to now go and invite people to now come and celebrate in April.
No, the truth is that we have, we have other lineup of activities, and for it not to clash, for it, what our job entails. Sometime the other day I traveled, so I wouldn't hold such an event when I'm not around. So we needed to do it in such a way. I was invited to a still union program that I attended. It's not my personal maybe engagement. It's union. So I traveled to Abuja for another engagement with the national.
Let's be careful this hole that we are digging so you don't fall inside. It's fine.
All right. And let me also draw your attention that even the national leadership is preparing to hold the one that the entire state of the country will be part of.
Okay.
You understand?
All right.
That preparation is on. That is to tell you that we are even faster than the national.
All right. Okay, Comrade. So that we have heard the explanation. Sometimes you will have belated birthdays, or let's just assume that it's not an oversight, it's something that was well thought out and
Yeah.
planned to happen on this day. But that's being said. Now, journalism, 70th anniversary. Tell us, what has the journey been like? I mean, 70 years in Nigeria. First, I want you to tell us, how did this come about? How did we come to have this union called Nigerian Union of Journalists? What bettered it and the journey?
Okay, thank you so much. In March 15, 1955, a group of journalists met at Lagos, the then headquarters of the capital territory of the country. Well, they met and saw the need to come together as a union to enable us to be able to champion a common front, especially because within that period the country was struggling to gain independence from our colonial masters. And you know, the media played critical role to ensuring that we gained our independence, which happened 5 years after the formation of this union.
Okay.
It was because these journalists came together to kind of establish this union that emboldened them as one formidable group to be able to collaborate with other patriots of the country to push for the independence of Nigeria. And 5 years after the establishment, we were able to gain independence. That is to tell you the role media played as at that time and still playing in the growth and development of the country. And it has not been easy. Looking at the country and the stages the country has passed through, ranging from the colonial era to military regime and now to democracy. You see that for a union to survive these phases of our existence and be able to reach 70 years, a lot of unions that were formed then do no longer see the light of the day. They've gone into extinction. So it is because of the doggedness, the perseverance of the union leaders, the leaders of this union, that we were able to reach where we are today. And I can tell you that we have contributed a lot to what we know as Nigeria today. We've contributed immensely to ensuring that Nigeria is where it is, despite the challenges we still face.
Talking about those challenges that we face in Nigeria as journalists, you know, I was glad when you said through the colonial times to the military to the democracy, it's not been easy. And even now, even though we say we have press freedom, even now in the face of democracy and apparent press freedom, it's still not very easy. We are not strangers in Ebonyi State. We've had incidences where journalists were beaten up, their equipment seized, sometimes incarcerated right here in Ebonyi State. I want to know, how does NUJ empower its members, journalists in Ebonyi State, such that even in the face of all this, they're still able to put out a balanced reportage out there? Because that's the core of journalism, a balanced reportage. You're not seen to be for or against anyone. How do you support these members of yours to continue to put out a balanced reportage in the face of intimidation or what have you?
Okay, thank you so much. NUJ, one of the core objectives of this union is to protect the right of members and also ensure their welfare, the provision of adequate welfare to members. And I can tell you, within this period we have existed as a union, we have done a lot. Talking about Ebonyi in particular, you could agree with me that a lot of issues, maybe involving journalists, have happened in the past. And the union never kept quiet. We have always rose to protect our members.
Okay.
And doing so, we have always cautioned our members to practice and conduct themselves in line with the ethics of the profession, so that you wouldn't do things that we will not be bold enough to protect, to fight for you. Because if we are on the right track as a member, and anybody, maybe be it government or security agents or agency.
What do you mean right track?
The right track is ensuring that you do your job in line with the ethics of the profession. Ethics of the profession in the sense that if you are doing a report, you must balance it.
Okay.
If you are saying that Mr. A is for instance, did a particular thing, you must be able to hear from him, to say his own side of the story, because you cannot crucify somebody on the altar of what one man has said. You must hear from, that is the issue of balance reportage.
Okay.
Beyond that, you should also cross-check your facts to ensure that if you say that Mr. A is
a thief,
stole 5 naira, it must be that 5 naira, and you'll be ready to prove it anywhere you are called. You don't rely on hearsay to make bogus claims in the name of being a journalist. So if you're able to do your work, balance your reports, do accurate reportage in terms of crossing your T's and dotting your I's, whenever any issue comes, maybe somebody wants to intimidate you on the basis that he has money, on the basis of his connection, on the basis of being a government official, we will be there for you. We will be there for you. And that is what the union has been able to do, and we keep doing it, and we have not stopped.
All right, coming to that, I'm just holding you on that, the word when you say government officials. Now, as a journalist, and we know that especially as it has to do with state-owned media, like we are, how does your body protect to ensure that those ethics are held? For instance, if a government in power does something that is not right, and because you are working for the state government, how do you create a balance, trying to be truthful, which is one of the tenets of our profession, to be truthful at all times, and you're trying to balance, and you have this situation where you go to collect information from the government source, and you're being gagged. These things happen even here in Ebonyi State when you're trying to get people to respond to issues that have been raised, or, that is burning, and they feel because of their position, or because you're working for the state government, you cannot, as a journalist, say what is the truth. So how will your organization, or how does the association or union tend to ensure that there's still freedom of expression even within government press?
Okay, let me say that every media establishment has a house style and their modus operandi, how they do their things. If you are employed as a reporter or a journalist, and you are given guidelines on how to do your job, and so long as that guideline is you accepted to work towards a guideline, I think that's not an issue. The only area we can come in, for instance, as a union, is if you do your job as a journalist, for instance, working in the EBBC, and you followed all the rules guiding journalism profession, guiding reportage and broadcasting, and maybe anybody comes to intimidate you, or maybe sacks you, or maybe suspends you, we can come in. That's where we'll come in. We put what you have done on a scale, and the position of government or whoever that has suspended you on a scale, and see whether you actually did what you ordinarily supposed to do as a journalist. If you did, we will quickly interface with government and make our position known. And I believe when we come up and talk with government, they will always see reasons with what we are saying. We don't keep quiet so long as you are on the right track, as I said earlier. But when you begin to go out from the line, the lay down rule, to begin to do your own thing, maybe apparently because you are interested, you have interest in that particular matter, or maybe you were in any way influenced. You want to compromise to do your job because you think maybe anybody will come and protect you. We will weigh whatever you have done on a scale and put it line by line with the code of ethics of the profession and the law of the land to know if you are on the right track. If you are, we will protect you and we will not.
Did this happen when? Because several times I've read about Charles Oto, who is a journalist in Ebonyi State, and other times he seems to have. I've not heard so much about him this administration, but before now he seems to always be having run-ins with the government. He's been beaten.
Okay, no, the point is that let's just try to understand some of these things. Activism is different from journalism.
Okay.
And going to your social media handle to write all sorts of things, even as a journalist, we are not going to come to protect you. Whatever you write on your social media handle, whether be it Facebook, WhatsApp, or whatever, and the government maybe takes you on that, you will answer for yourself. You understand? Okay. We are more interested in maybe what you heard as a reporter in the EBBC, what you have published as a reporter with Petroid or Ebonyi First, as the case may be.
Okay.
Because that is journalism. You understand?
Not personal opinions.
And again, if you are a journalist and you don't identify with us, you are not in our record as a journalist. You are just answering journalist because you can answer journalist. It is when you register with the union that will be bold enough to fight for you when you have an issue. So you have to come, attend, belong to what we do as a member, because this is a professional body. If you are not if you don't register with the MBA Abakaliki and you have issue, do you think they will come? If you are a doctor and you don't identify with NMA, do you think if you have issue they will come? They are not looking for people. So we are not looking for people. If you are a journalist, identify with us and we will be able to stand by you, whether it is rain or sun, any time, any day. We'll be there to protect you as a member.
Okay, so let me take you into the future a bit. You know, technology is evolving. Before now, it used to be print, and from print we moved into electronic. From electronic, we've moved to social media. Who knows, maybe tomorrow we'll move to publishing on the space, right? But for now, social media, AI, these are emerging trends. How are you positioning journalists in Ebonyi State to move into the future so we do not get to a point where we see that these ones have been left behind?
Thank you. Every conscious journalist should be aware of these emerging trends. In fact, you don't even need to be told that if you don't make haste, that you may be left behind. You understand? So if you're a journalist and you are unaware of the fact that social media is gradually taking over the space, you may be telling yourself a lie. You may be deceiving yourself. So in every of our congress, when we meet, we emphasize the fact that you should be able to move with the moving trend. With the moving trend is that you should be able to be ICT compliant. You should be able to, even as a journalist, for instance, you are a publisher or you have your own platform, maybe online platform, you should be able to know that it is good you have Facebook version of that platform you have, Instagram version, and
Twitter version,
so that you will have audience. Because if you, for instance, if you are publishing a newspaper and every week you publish and put on the stand, a lot of people no longer go to the stand to read newspaper as it used to be. A lot of people no longer go to the stand to buy newspaper. It now behoves on you as a publisher to ensure that while you publish that hard copy, you ensure that whatever you publish on the hard copy is also circulated in other social media handles you have, so that people will know, will still kind of follow you and read whatever you publish as a journalist.
But talking about this social media publication and the rest, and especially since your theme for this year is empowering the media, enhancing democracy, what is your organization doing to ensure that your voice is heard over the myriad voices that we have? Because there are so many. I could decide to take you into fake stories, but that's a different thing. But there are so many voices out there. Social media has made it that anybody now can be a journalist, a reporter, a broadcaster. What do you want to be? How do we hear your own voices above these other ones in your struggle to, enhance democracy or deepen democracy rather?
That I can say. It just falls within what I had earlier said, that if you are a journalist or if you are a publisher, for instance, you should be able to ensure that while you publish hard copy, you also have those, you also key into this social media platform, so that your platform will be known more by the people. With that, if three of us are publishers, for instance, in Ebonyi, and you whatever you give out, like EBBC, for instance, you have Facebook handle. Whatever you do now is on Facebook and other social media handles. It has made you more popular than it, because not everybody. If I'm going to work now, you can as well, like as we are talking now. Some persons are in the offices watching what we are doing. Some persons are even anywhere do it, because you can't wake up in the morning and say that you go out to look for what to eat. So it has come to a stage that whatever you do, you ensure that it is incorporated into this phone that we are using, because that is the closest material with which people access information today.
All right, comrades.
I want to also say that the problem we have currently is that people no longer go to the conventional media platform, even on Facebook. If you want to know what is true, you can easily go to EBBC that they said, okay, 10 commissioners has been sacked or suspended or arrested. Go to EBBC website and know if you can see it there. Once you see it there, yeah, it will, for instance, authenticate that story may be true. You understand? All but right. If you just read what somebody posts on his or her handle and carry it home that thing happened, that is a problem we have.
All right, that's a discuss for another day, the difference between the mainstream media and the social media. I mean, the difference. But just to wrap it up in a minute, what are we expecting today from NUJ? What are we expecting?
I have said it all over and everywhere I am opportune to say it, that today is a day, in fact, it is a day we hold in a very high esteem. And we are not going to talk much today. We will just have a guest lecturer who will talk to us briefly. The rest will be merry, merry, merry. Just when you are tired of eating and drinking, you can excuse yourself.
Mary. Please, who's invited? Are we invited to come? All right. Thank you so very much, Comrade, for coming in.
Thank you so
and
much.
we'll be speaking with Comrade Samson Nwafo, who happens to be the Ebonyi State Chairman, NUJ. NUJ is Nigeria Union of Journalists. And they will be celebrating today, and the invite is open to you who is watching to join NUJ at the Sam Egu
Dr. Samuel
Press Center
at Democracy Estate.
At Democracy Estate. Time?
12 p.m.
12 p.m. And please Take some laxatives before you come.
Amaka.
There'll be so much to eat and so much to drink.
This Tinubu time, don't take laxative.
Please take laxative. Chairman said you should take laxative.
Yes.
We'll take a break now, so we'll bring you the news. Thank you again for coming, sir.
Many thanks for being on the show, comrade.
Thank you. It's a pleasure.
Chel.
Okay.